and welcome back to another video. And in this video we are going to be looking at the problems going around Leicester City and how to possibly fix them and find their possible solutions. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So the problem basically with Leicester here is that they sit bottom of the league going into the first international break, after playing 7 games, drawing only one game, which was the opening day draw against Brentford, and losing the next 6 out of 6 games. They have scored only 10 goals and conceded the highest amount of goals up till now, 22. And the whole atmosphere around the club and the fans are basically very disappointed in the ownership and the management, and they have the right to do so after sitting the bottom of the Premier League after 7 games. Their problems basically start with their recruitment. This is the main problem of Leicester for the last 2 years now, and this is just not this year's problem. Leicester's recruitment was highly applauded in the previous seasons, as they were known to be outsmarting the top sides in the Premier League, and this was one of the reasons that they won the Premier League as well, due to their incredible recruitment a few years ago. However, it hasn't been at the same level for the last 2 seasons, and the transfer windows have basically disappointed them a lot for the last 2 windows. Leicester are a self-finance club, which means that they have to sell in order to purchase any place, and in this transfer window, unfortunately they were unable to do this until the last few days of the window. Their only major sale came for Wesley Fofana, who moved to Chelsea for around 75 million euros, and they also lost their captain Kasper Schmeichel to OGC Nice after a long-serving career at Leicester for Kasper, which means that they had to fulfill a lot of positions. They were weakened in a lot of positions. However, they were only managed to get Wesley Fofana's replacement on the last day of the window by buying Wood Fives from League One, and also they bought Alex Smithies, the third choice keeper from Cardiff, as a free agent, and they basically trusted in Danny Ward and Iverson to be their goalkeepers for the rest of the season. However, recruitment has not been their only problem for the last couple of seasons, but injuries have played a major part in the Leicester's decline in the last couple of seasons. Another problem Leicester are facing a lot nowadays is their set pieces. They concede from a lot of set pieces. They also conceded twice against the latest game against Spurs from set pieces. This has to be a huge concern, and they have conceded the highest amount of goals from set pieces this season in the Premier League, and the whole club is basically covered with a lot of problems that they have to get out from, and as soon as possible, if they want to possibly stay in the Premier League and save their season. So the first question that needs to be answered is that should Brendan Rodgers be sacked? Now this is quite widely reported that Leicester are considering to sack Brendan Rodgers and to bring in a new replacement. Replacement alternatives such as Thomas Frank have been mentioned recently. Leicester really highly regard him and do want him to replace Brendan Rodgers. However, they will have to pay a compensation fee of 10 million to Brendan Rodgers if they want to sack him, and I do not think that Leicester would be willing to pay that. Which means that I do not believe Leicester should sack him right now. Another reason for me wanting to keep Brendan Rodgers is he might not be the best guy right now, but he definitely can work a lot with the squad if he prevents injuries, and to be very honest, his record hasn't been bad at all. He has already won a FA Cup and a Community Shield. He has also proven that he can play very good football. Unfortunately, it has not been done right now, but in the long term, giving him the right profiles, right players, he can definitely improve the squad and definitely save them from relegation. Then in the next season, Leicester may decide to sack him but at least for right now it is important to have stability, and it can be done by trusting your own manager right now. One of the major reasons of Leicester decline has also been their squad depth. Unfortunately, they do not have a lot of good squad players that can possibly compete at the highest level. They do not have good goalkeepers, as mentioned earlier, and been one of the major reasons in their decline. Danny Watt has been absolutely underwhelming this season, and others cannot be trusted by Brendan Rodgers. They also do not have defenders that can possibly help them reduce the amount of goals conceded and help them get better defensively. They also do not have natural wingers. The only two wingers right now within the club are Albrighton and Harvey Barnes, and none of them is right now delivering a lot. And we have seen a common practice by Brendan Rodgers by bringing strikers such as Kelechi Iheanacho or Patson Daka on the wings, and this hasn't worked so far. So in this video we will have to be possibly suggesting players as well as things that can be improved by Leicester in the upcoming few months or two, so that they can save their season. The positions we are possibly going to be looking at is a goalkeeper, is a centre back, or a left back, because Luke Thomas hasn't been good enough as well, and a winger. The first recommendation to Leicester is to basically improve their medical team. Now, the top teams in the Premier League have the best medical teams in within their squad, which prevent them from as many possible injuries. Unfortunately, this is not the case with Leicester, and as their squad depth is quite thin, they need to have most of their players fit and ready for most of their games, which hasn't been the case. So the first thing they have to improve is definitely their medical team, and they can improve it right now by hiring better, and they do not have to basically wait for the windows or something like that, and they can right now improve their medical team. The second point to be noted here is that they need a better set piece coach. Unfortunately, I'm not aware who is the set piece coach, but he hasn't been doing pretty well for the last couple of seasons now. A lot of Premier League top Premier League teams just do not concede a lot of goals from set pieces, but they also score, and unfortunately neither is the case for Leicester. Now, coming on to transfer recommendations, these are players that I would like Leicester to sign in the January transfer window, assuming that Leicester have around 50 to 60 million to spend from that Wesley Fofana's money, and these players would cost around the same price tag as well. Now, getting into the players that I would like to suggest to Leicester is the first position that needs to be addressed is the goalkeeper. Danny Ward has been terrible this season. Unfortunately, he has been conceding a lot of goals. He has conceded 22 goals from just 12.75 xg conceded, which means that he's underperforming his xg by 9, which is just very a terrible record for a goalkeeper. Now, the replacement that I want to get into is Diego Costa from Porto. He's 23 years old. He turned 23 yesterday. He's quite young, and he's quite mature for his age as well. He's a very good sweeper of the ball, comes out for crosses, collects a lot of crosses, and can stop, and is one of the very best ball playing goalkeepers around the world as well, which is a very useful attribute to have within a goalkeeper. His distribution is very good as well, and shot stopping is decent as well. However, I was going through his stats, and shot stopping hasn't been the greatest this season. However, he has still managed to keep 4 clean sheets in 7 games this season, and this is my first recommendation to Leicester to go for Diego Costa. He will cost around 25 to 30 million euros. I do not think Porto will charge more than that. They haven't have the greatest record selling players compared to rivals like Benfica, so I do not think he would cost a lot of money, but assuming that they still have around 50-60 million euros left from the sale of Fofana, I do think that 25 million should be spent on Diego Costa. Now the next position that needs to be addressed by Leicester is a left back. Luke Thomas has been playing left back for the majority of the last season. James Justin can play also there. However, both have been not at the highest level, and I would like to suggest someone who is more strong defensively as well. So my suggestion to Leicester is Facundo Medina from RC Lens. He has a contract until 2024, which means that he won't cost a lot of money, and you can get him for cheap for around 15 to 20 million euros. He is a very good ball playing center back, as well as he can play left back for Lens. He's a very good crosser of the ball, which will help attacking offensively for Leicester. He's 6-footed, which means he is tall. He can also play centre back, and it is one of his strong positions. However, his aerial duel record isn't greatest, so I wouldn't suggest him to play as a centre back and to cover at left back. He's a very good progressive passer and ranks 98th percentile for progressive passers among the Europe top 5 leagues. He's a very attacking minded centre back or a full back, and also likes to get forward. He is positionally very well aware, and a player that I would definitely suggest Leicester to buy. If Leicester want a more offensive minded fullback, another player I would like to suggest here is Douglas Santos from Zenit. He's a very good attacking fullback. He's secure defensively as well, and is a very good crosser of the ball. He likes to get forward as much as possible, especially the way Zenit play. He is very crucial for their team. He already has 1 assist this season, and he ranks 98th percentile for X assists this season. He's 28-year-old, which means he won't cost a lot and could be a very good alternative to Facundo Medina. However, I do not think I think there is a lot of problems in transferring players from Russian clubs to Premier League clubs, and this hasn't been the case this season, which means it would be hard to obtain. But another alternative that Leicester should look. Coming on to the winger, now the player I'm going to suggest might not be the most famous player, or a lot of people haven't heard of him, but I would like to suggest Facundo Torres. He's 22-year-old Uruguayan winger. He plays for Orlando City in the MLS. He recently moved to MLS at the start of the last MLS season. He's still 22, which means he's very young, and came through the Penarol Academy in Uruguay. If you are not aware of Penarol, they are the club that has produced talents like Fede Valverde, Darwin Núñez, and many more Uruguayan top players. And Facundo Torres for me is a top winger as well. He's left-footed, which means he can play as a left winger, as a right winger mainly, which means that he will help Harvey Barnes, and Leicester do lack any left-footed wingers. He has 14 goals and assists in 30 games. He also scored an absolute banger of a goal in the pre-season against Arsenal, which means he can perform against top teams as well. He's a very good strong dribbler. He can create a lot of goals as well. He has already 8 assists this season, which shows his attacking, shows his creativity stats as well. And he, for me, I've been following his progress from a long time, and he is a very good winger. He can play on either sides as well, and quite versatile. Can also play as an attacking midfielder, and would help Leicester to get Diego Costa, Facundo Torres, and Facundo Medina are my 3 transfer recommendations for Leicester to sign in the January transfer window, who can possibly save this season. These are players that I would really like them to sign as well, and these players are not very expensive and have high potential as well, which will just about suit what Leicester want in their recruitment. They would not cost more than any 50 million euros until one of the clubs really increases their price a lot. However, there may be a bit unwillingness to join Leicester at this time, but I do think that these transfers are quite realistic as well. I hope you did enjoy this video. This was it for today's video. I tried to solve as many problems for Leicester as possible. If you did enjoy this video, do drop a like and subscribe to my channel if you are